In other news, around 2,000 workers at Sibanye-Stillwater now face retrenchment. It comes after the company said it would enter into talks with unions and other stakeholders who might be affected by the restructuring of their operations. COSATU spokesperson Sizwe Pamla joins us. Sizwe, good afternoon to you. What's your response to Sibanye-Stillwater's news that it wants to retrench people?
Well, these are shocking reports. We are very disappointed because if you look at the unemployment in South Africa, we really can't afford to send more breadwinners onto the unemployment line. We are also disappointed because if you look at the support that not just the mining sector but the private sector in general has received, be it under COVID, where something like 64 billion of workers' money was spent on ensuring that they get some relief. They could allow workers to go for months unpaid, while that money was spent on paying workers. The kind of support they've received, the tax breaks, corporate tax from 28% to 27% in February, to see them really making these kind of excuses where they are not really understanding of the difficulties that we all face as a country, and they are just retrenching workers is totally unacceptable and disappointing.
As I understand what they're saying, I mean, this would be their argument, they want to look at certain shafts and perhaps close down certain shafts. These are old mines. Some of them aren't very productive. They don't have any more gold left. I mean, should people be employed even if the shaft is closed?
No, what we are saying here is that, firstly, if you look at the kind of support that they have received, it makes us suspicious because not long ago, Sibanye-Stillwater was part of the mining industry that made an argument that they need to mechanize. They actually said, we are following the Chilean and Canadian model of mining, where we are going to replace workers with machines. And they actually predicted, not just Sibanye, but all of the mining companies in South Africa, that from the 500,000 workers, they predicted that they will be left with 95,000 in 2030. Already the number has gone down to 400,000. So when they all of a sudden come out and saying that they have unprofitable shafts or they are shutting down some shafts, it makes us suspicious because this is a company that has made record profits last year. They moved their profits in 2020 from 29 billion to 23 billion in 2021. So this is a very profitable company that was pushing government to bend over backward to give them loan money. And government did bend over backward to give them loan money. So to wake up and hear that with all of the support that they have received, all they are thinking about is to retrench. They are not even thinking of how to accommodate these 2,000 workers within their operations. This is why we say this is unacceptable.
I would like to ask you about the strike in the public sector. Strike certificates issued, I think, for 4 more unions which belong to COSATU in the last 24 hours. It does look like a strike has strong support by public sector unions, but COSATU is not taking part in the strike, and they're also one of your affiliates. Are you surprised at that?
No, not at all. Remember that we have independent unions. That's the nature of a federation. You can only act on your mandate. So we are mandate-driven, and we expect our unions to be mandate-driven also. So anytime you push for a union to go back to workers and report, and they get a feedback or a report back, it will be unacceptable for that union to disregard the mandate they've received from their members. So as a federation, our job is to sit with all of our unions, see how to work with them to reconcile their positions and to make sure that they continue to cooperate and work together, despite the fact that they have different mandates that they've received from their constituents.
Sizwe Pamla, thank you. From the Congress of South African Trade Unions, do appreciate the time on the Pulse tonight.